We've got our reporters. Aviwe Mtila is in Cape Town, Ayesha Ismail, who is also in the mother city, as well as Nqobile Madlala in Durban, who join us now to give us updates. Let's start outside City Hall, where members of Parliament have been arriving ahead of the debate on the Phala report and its possible adoption. We will find out today whether President Cyril Ramaphosa will go through an impeachment process after the independent report found that he may have contravened the Constitution and have a case to answer to. That's where we find Aviwe Mtila. Aviwe, will the ANC MPs toe the party line or not?
Well, we've already heard the likes of Nqobile made it clear that they will not toe that party line and they will vote with their conscience. Of course, members of Parliament now are slowly trickling in as we are just under an hour away from when Parliament is supposed to sit. It's supposed to be debating the Section 89 inquiry, whether it will be adopted, and we do know they need that 50+1 majority. We do know now it's going to be it's going to be voted for openly, as the ATM have just confirmed that they have now declined the court action. They're no longer headed to the court and will allow the processes here to happen openly. At about 11 o'clock, Masego, we saw the ANC caucus gather in numbers here. They were being told to toe the party line by the national chairperson of the party, who made it clear that there would be consequences to be faced if the MPs don't vote together with the party in rejecting the Section 89 inquiry. But we have heard word for your likes of Nqobile, who made it clear that he's going to vote with his conscience and accept whatever consequences then there are thereafter. He believes that the president should be held accountable, and he's accountable to the people of South Africa. In fact, that was the conversation that we had with him at around 12 o'clock. Let's just take a listen to what he had to say.
We will see what is the way forward, but I still stick to the position I have held, because we have to be accountable, all of us, irrespective of our position. And we have to make sure that we win the trust of society by how we conduct ourselves in an exemplary manner. My own view is that what the president could have done was to handle the matter differently, speak to the leadership of the ANC, see how post this particular matter and himself of Phala, how do you manage the unity of the ANC going forward, and not him being in the equation, so that he's given the opportunity to attend to this particular matter without from time to time bringing the African National Congress into the matter. That's what I think should be the position going forward. But I'm not a member of the National Executive Committee. There's a decision of the National Executive Committee. I suppose the 10 minutes meeting which is going to take place now with some of the leaders here, maybe it will attend to that particular matter. So we will see. But I'm still saying, to win over the confidence of the masses, sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself as a leader for the bigger cause.
Okay. All right, Ayesha Ismail is also covering this story. She was with the ANC Women's League and other members of the ruling party earlier today that are demonstrating, Ayesha, their support for the president. But now you're with someone who doesn't support the president at all, a recently suspended member of the ANC. Carl Niehaus, what's he telling you?
So, Masego, earlier I was at a picket, and it was a picket of a different kind. It was the ANC Women's League members who were picketing in support of President Cyril Ramaphosa, and they say that they are confident that he is going to survive this impeachment vote that will be taking place a little later today. But I'm now joined by Carl Niehaus, and he was earlier moved away from the City Hall. And Carl, you're gathering here with some of the eNCA vets. What brings you here to Cape Town today?
We came here with one simple message, that the report of the independent panel must be adopted. It is about accountability for Cyril Ramaphosa. He has a serious prima facie case to answer. We also came here to say to the ANC, Ramaphosa must go. He has brought the African National Congress into disrepute. He's brought our country into disrepute. What we saw this morning was a shame. We gathered peacefully in front of the City Hall there at the parade. The police came in the most vicious and violent way. They were pushing us, shoving us, They were threatening to beat us up. That is repression of freedom of speech. That is exactly what we see under Cyril Ramaphosa. It reminded me of the old apartheid regime. The last time I was pushed and shoved around and called names, as I was to this morning, was by the apartheid police. It is a shame that police of the South African Police Service are now being used and abused by the Ramaphosa regime to treat us in this fashion.
Now, you've had your membership from the ANC revoked.
Well, they said that they are trying to expel me, but I immediately appealed, and in terms of the law, once you've appealed, a decision that you have been expelled is therefore suspended. So I'm still a full member. I'm standing here proudly in my ANC colours. I'm intending to continue to be a full member of the ANC because I have done nothing wrong. I've always been following the liberation ideals of the ANC. The people who have betrayed the liberation struggle are Cyril Ramaphosa and his mafia gang, the people who are now trying to push me out of the ANC. They will not succeed.
Thank you so much for your time. And Masego, there you heard from Carl Niehaus that he has appealed against the ANC revoking his membership, and we'll have to wait and see what happens with that.
All right, well, let's take you to Durban now, where torrential rains have caused anxiety. The eThekwini municipality, you might remember, and many other parts of KZN suffered terribly earlier this year when flooding there in April left hundreds dead and thousands displaced. Many are still missing, in fact. And Nqobile is, with this persistent rain happening now, I imagine government is scrambling to ensure that what happened those months ago doesn't repeat itself.
Well, Masego, yes, indeed. In fact, we have heard from the Premier saying that the government has learned their lesson and they have decided that they're actually going to have a block of flats that is going to be available for any urgent help that may be needed for any family that is affected by any form of disaster, natural disaster or flooding of some sorts. Because from what they have seen, they're saying the process has taken quite a while to get to a point where everybody has been housed, but they're saying that they've learned their lessons. But what we are hearing also, Masego, is that they have the disaster team on the ground that is currently monitoring in terms of what is happening and which houses have been affected. We understand that La Messi has over 30 to 40 houses that were somehow affected with these rains. We know that some of them have introduced cracks on the road as well as in the housing. But also we are hearing that Ndwedwe also has about 10 houses that we understand have also been affected. But it seems disaster is still looking into investigating exactly what are those form of issues that are seen in Ndwedwe. But those are not the only areas. They're also looking to Umgeni municipality, which we understand is also on the ground assisting those that might have been affected. But Masego, where I'm standing is where the flood victims, which we understand from April, have been looking for a place or housing. We know that they were living in those areas in some halls, and these are some of them that are currently receiving their keys to a building which we know that will be housing 1,600 people. So this is some of many that are still hoping to get permanent structures as they go forward. We do know that this is some temporal assistance, but going forward, the Premier is saying that no one will be in these temporal areas and celebrate Christmas there, and the aim is to ensure that they at least have some homes to go to for now whilst they build their permanent homes. Let's listen.
Well, we have this model now that we've seen that it works for us, and moving forward as government, we've also bought one building which used to be owned by Transnet, and that building is being prepared. We've cleaned the building, it's being prepared, and now in future we would know that in case of people that have got to be relocated, at least we do have buildings readily available for us to relocate those people.
All right, that was your All Angles lunchtime update with eNCA reporters Aviwe Mtila, Ayesha Ismail and Nqobile Madlala.